that time of the day. It's the 4th Street Sports Show. Let's get it.
Welcome back to the 4th Street Sports Show. I am Jackson Howell, filling in for Smooth Austin Lindsay. He is out on assignment today, MIA. He is at Dima's favorite residence. That's a joke for old listeners of the show. But anyway, I'm here
where's he at?
Dima Mixon. Nathan Lee, the Nate Dogg, is here as well, here with Charlie Luttrell and Jackson Kennedy. Kennedy is here joining in. He'll be one of the new faces next semester, but we're going to start things off, as always, with our Eagle Eye and Southern Miss baseball. Not their greatest week. Would you agree, Dima?
I would agree, Jackson. Thank you. Well, it's not listed in our script, but before the Coastal Carolina series, Southern Miss went on the road to Louisiana Tech, dropped the game 3-1. Which is kind of crazy because they scored 15 runs 2 days before and then only scored 3.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I mean, excuse me, they only scored 1. So I don't really know how it's possible. I think they just I don't know. They just don't bring their bats or something to the
midweeks are almost inverse this last year.
I know.
What they were last year.
They won every single midweek game last year before the Miss game, and now they're 4-6 or something. I don't know. But anyway, so then they went on the road to the biggest series of the year. Rough time. They went to Coastal Carolina, got outscored 35-14 in the first 2 games with a 15-7 loss on Friday, and then a 20-7 loss on Saturday. Just ugly start. I think it's just a testament to just how good Coastal Carolina was. I don't necessarily even think Southern Miss really even played that bad. You're asking your offense to do a lot there. I mean, they put up 7 runs both of those days. I mean, you wanted your pitching staff to at least give them a chance to win. But then Sunday they rebounded. They got out ahead early 4-0 and then got behind 7-4 before 11 unanswered runs to take the game on Sunday, and that avoided the sweep in an 0-4 week. So this week they're going to go on the road to a Tulane ball club that has not been the Tulane that we were used to seeing. So that should be one of their easier midweek games they've had. Let's not say they're going to win it because
don't forget they lost
to New Orleans. Yeah. So then they're going to play Louisiana Tech at home on Wednesday. So 2 midweeks this week before facing one of the worst teams in the Sun Belt in Arkansas State this week, and that's going to start an 8-game home streak for Southern Miss.
Absolutely, and you would expect the pitching to rebound because this week they really got punched in the mouth this week. You don't expect, especially Tanner Hall, to have an outing like that. And then Billy Oldham, he'd been really hot going and then had a rough outing against Coastal, so you expect them to bounce back. The 2 midweeks, though, that is something to talk about because the lack of pitching depth we've seen in the midweeks, that's been the bane of Southern Miss's existence. Now for the first time they have 2 midweek games. That's going to be something to monitor, but let's go to a different diamond, softball. They lost 2 games to Coastal Carolina as well, but they picked up a 3-2 win on Sunday to save themselves from being swept. Maria Smith hit a 2-run double that gave the Golden Eagles their final lead. She also scored a run in the first inning after drawing a walk. Morgan Linestock earned her 11th win of the season after throwing a complete game on Sunday. She threw 186 pitches in 13 innings this weekend. That just never ceases to amaze me. How is your arm still intact? The Golden Eagles now turn to face the most dangerous pitching duo in the conference in South Alabama's Olive Lackey and Jenna Hardy. Both pitchers have a sub-2 ERA with nearly 300 combined strikeouts. The Jags are 3rd in the conference and are on a 7-game winning streak, and Southern Miss currently holds the 10th seed, the last seed that makes it to the tournament. They're at 4-13 in conference play, and they're only 2 games behind the 8th and 9th seed going forward.
Yeah, before this weekend, Lackey actually had a sub-1 ERA.
Oh, wow.
Over 100 innings pitched. That's ridiculous.
Is that good?
Yeah, I used to do that in high school.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Call me
Do that in the backyard.
Yeah, smoke mixing,
So, and I want to say this is Southern Miss has struggled recently to hit. Defense has been really good all year. So it's kind of a tough matchup, but again, having 2 straight series at home and avoiding the sweep just like baseball, that's pretty big for them. So really, they still have a chance, at that 10th seed to kind of move up this weekend. But there's some strong teams in the Sun Belt right now. And over on track, a historic weekend, Smilla Kolbe broke the program record in the 800-meter run at the Crimson Tide Invitational. We were talking about what she did in California last week. She broke the record this weekend with a time of 2 minutes and 6.78 seconds. Three other Golden Eagles women earned gold medals, including both of the women's relay teams, and Sarah Parnell also earned first place in the 3,000-meter steeplechase again. And on the men's side, our guy Omar Austin earned silver in the 400-meter with one of his best times this season. Southern Miss will close out the regular season this weekend in Starkville at the Maroon and White Invitational before preparing for the Sun Belt Conference Outdoor Championships, where we'll get to see guys like Omar kind of go for that medal. And also, I mean, Kolbe looks like she could be NCAA type player too. So good luck to them. And then we'll talk about women's golf. Finished fifth at the Sun Belt Championships last week, led by sophomore Momoka Ando's third place finish. She became only the fourth golfer in program history to pick up all tournament team honors. We'll actually be talking to her in the studio today. And as a whole, the women's golf team posted a 297 season stroke average, which is the second best in program history. Very successful season for them. Men's golf has also started their competition. Just got word, a couple minutes ago, that they are third place after the first day. They're the number 68th team in the country. They're going against some good competition too. 4 other programs in the conference are top 100, with Georgia Southern being number 26. And after 54 holes there, individual medalists will be honored, and the top 4 teams advance to a match play event on Thursday. 2 winners of the matches that day then meet for a team championship, which gives the automatic bid for the NCAA tournament. So as of right now, Southern Miss is in that top 4, but still a lot of golf left to play until Thursday. And also just want to talk about tennis. Got a big win after only having one conference win this season. They knocked off Coastal Carolina, but fell to none other than South Alabama, who, again, I'll make my case, they have Southern Miss's number in pretty much every sport.
Hey, I mean, that's not necessarily a hot take there, Charlie.
No, it isn't. It isn't at this point. No.
Thank you for that, Charlie. A lot of action in Southern Miss athletics, and there's a lot more action to come here on the 4th Street Sports Show. We'll be right back after these messages.
After these
Welcome back to the 4th Street Sports Show. I'm Jackson Howell in a full house today alongside Dima, Charlie, Jackson, and the Nate Dogg, Nathan Lee. Real quick, we are going to talk about baseball just a little bit. Sunbelt Conference play. Southern Miss baseball didn't have their greatest week, but they're still in the thick of things in conference play. They're 2 games back of Coastal Carolina. Going into the final stretch, 5 teams are only a game behind the Golden Eagles, and 4 more are 2 and 3 games behind. So it's still anybody's contest. I know, Dima, you wanted to touch on the RPI a little bit.
Yeah, so Southern Miss sitting at, well, we were doing standings now. I got to switch back over my RPI tab. Okay, they're sitting at 19 on the RPI chart. Really, Dallas Baptist bringing them up a lot. They're at 13, 31, and 9 right now. So that sweep over Dallas Baptist is helping them. They're ahead of Alabama. They're at 20. They're obviously the highest ranked team in Mississippi right now, as I tweeted out yesterday. One thing Warren Nolan does is predicted RPI, and I know a lot of fans are worried about the games coming up for Southern Miss knocking their RPI down, and the predicted RPI has them at 42 at the end of the season. So that would be 30. They're predicting a 33-20 record, which a 42 is, you're right on the bubble there for slipping in as an at-large bid for the NCAA tournament. So if they don't win the Sun Belt tournament, they would be right on the bubble. That's what their predicted RPI is, though. So that might not be the final, but this week in general, and the next few games up for them is going to be really bring that. The RPI is steady now, but it's really going to start slamming down when their strength of schedule goes down.
Yeah, they just can't really afford to lose very many series going forward.
Probably none.
Yeah, probably none, but definitely not many at all. Jackson, I kind of want to get your thoughts in on this. I know you've watched the team all season long. Where do you think they go from here?
Well, so it's really weird right about now because I saw a statistic. 7 of the top 25 teams that were ranked by D1 Baseball this weekend got swept. Yeah. I think over 10 of them lost their series. Mm-hmm. So, baseball, it's one of those wild games. It's a game where anything can happen. And I mean, like, from how things are shaping up and with the teams that we have swept, like Dallas Baptist, going on just a crazy streak that is really helping our RPI, I think it's still anybody's game. I think we'll probably be a 2-3 seed at the most realistic, but if we get on some sort of crazy hot streak and remember who we are, there's still some semblance of a possibility of us hosting, but that's a little bit less likely.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to host, but I will say that he is right where the next few games for them, they do have a good shot at winning a good bit of games to get more of that firepower behind them. Because, I mean, they haven't won more than 4 games in a row this season, which is a crazy statistic when you really think about it, that they haven't even gone I don't think they have a 4-0 week like this year.
Last year they had the longest win streak in the program
17 wins. So I don't think they have a 4-win week at all this season. So I could be wrong on that. But D1 Baseball came out with their regional predictions. They have them a 2 seed in the Gainesville Regional, number 1 Florida. They're as the 7th national seed. Southern Miss as the 2, Virginia Tech as the 3, and then Maine as the 4. I think for me as a writer, I would love that. I mean, to get a potential Hurston-Waldrop, Tanner Hall matchup in a Saturday night 1-0 winners bracket game, I mean, you can't even write a better story than that. And you know that they love to send people places for storylines in baseball. I mean, that's the only reason Ole Miss was paired with them last season. And I mean, and if it wasn't Southern Miss, Ole Miss LSU would have been a great super regional. They had Arizona and Ole Miss in that bracket because Arizona put them out of the series in the supers the year before. So just a lot of history there. And so I think that's a pretty favorable regional. Like, yes, you don't expect Southern Miss probably to win that, but I mean, they have a shot. I mean, I could see them beating Virginia Tech, and I could see them definitely competing with Florida, if not.
Yeah, I mean, Dima, you and I were talking a couple weeks ago, just like, if Southern Miss can find themselves, like, if our bats, like, we know that our bats can get hot. For some reason, they're just bipolar. We're a very bipolar team right now. Either one weekend, our pitching is lights out. I mean, look at last weekend versus James Madison. Billy Oldham put on a clinic, and had it not been for that rain delay, I was fully expecting to see him pitch a complete game. Like, it was really something to behold. And then in weekends past, when our pitching has faltered, our bats have been there. And
Yeah.
this past series against Coastal, it was like some games our pitching was atrocious. We just couldn't find ourselves. They had our numbers like to the T. And then when our pitching would falter, our hitting was supposed to be there, but then it wasn't.
Yeah. And I actually think it was. Because
Yeah.
I do think that 7 runs on both Friday and Saturday, then 15 on Sunday.
Yeah, you just
I mean,
can't give up.
you just
Yeah,
can't give
you
up
just
the
can't.
walks and
Yeah.
the home runs. I mean, Coastal's just, they're a different animal. And
Yeah.
But at least Southern Miss now has the formula to beat them.
Yes.
You know, they know they can beat them when it comes to Montgomery, and because they're going to have to beat them there, you know, to win a Sun Belt title.
I think winning La Tech is going to be big this week
Yeah,
for them. Because really, like, if they don't sweep or, win these series, that kind of does them in. But also, I think what's going to be interesting is seeing that Louisiana's on a skid. That's the, series they close out with. I feel like that's going to be a crucial series for both teams. I'm expecting, Louisiana to probably turn it around here. And I just think that could make for a big scenario in the seeding of things. Because, like you said, 5 teams right now, only a game behind Golden Eagles, and I believe Louisiana is one of those. Yeah, one of those teams, only 1 game behind. And then you've got James Madison, who just swept, and even South Alabama is 2 games behind. So it's crazy to think that Southern Miss, loses a couple games here that they could fall even behind. But that's how tight it is right now.
Absolutely. Not even that. I think they need to prove that they can win midweek games if they're even going to have a shot at winning the Sun Belt Conference tournament in Montgomery, because they really haven't shown the pitching that they can pitch multiple days in a row. If they can prove they can win midweeks with pitching depth, I think that could get them some momentum going forward.
Here's the bottom line: they need to go 5-0 this week. Like that, they just need to. They just for their team, for the team, they need to go 5-0 this week.
They don't need to lose for the rest of the season.
Yes.
I mean, that would be the
Throughout.
Ideal.
the only way for them to, like Jackson said, host a regional would be for them to win out, and for Coastal not to win the Sun Belt regular season title. So they would, in my opinion, they'd have to win out, win the regular season title, and the Sun Belt championship to host. So that's not likely, in my opinion. So
And that's the bottom line, because Dima said so.
mark it down.
When we return on 4th Street Sports Show, we have a very special interview with Momoka Ando. Charlie, you mentioned her earlier, and we're going to get a chance to speak to her right after this. This is the 4th Street Sports Show. Street Sports Show. We have a very special interview here today. We are here with women's golfer Momoka Ando. The team finished third place in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament.
Fifth.
Fifth.
Momoka finished third.
Right. That's my bad. Momoka finished third place. She became the fourth golfer in program history to pick up all tournament honors, and we welcome her here today. Momoka, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So can you just talk about it? Finishing third place in the Sun Belt Tournament, just how did that feel?
I was a little nervous more than usual before it starts, but it was a great experience to be able to play on the beautiful course like LPGA International. Also, there was a lot of spectators, and I was able to play with my Japanese friend on the last day, so which was fun for me.
And I mean, just becoming the fourth golfer in program history to make the all-tournament team. Can you just talk about what kind of honor that is and how that feels?
Yeah. College golf is only 4 years, and I feel very honored to receive all tournament honors in my second year. And I'd like to thank all of my coaches, teammates, and family for this award. This would not be possible without these people, and I'm excited to keep working hard.
What does it mean for like something that hasn't been accomplished much at Southern Miss? I don't want to put you on the spot, but just like, what was that talk like with the team and your coach about what y'all wanted to kind of accomplish this season?
Oh, this semester's goal?
Mm-hmm.
The goal was to be able to win the tournament, but we couldn't. But it was great to be able to like practice and like have fun with everything. So I don't know. It's just I feel like the next year we can achieve it.
Nice.
It's only your second year with the program. Could you just talk about how you've been able to grow since you've kind of come, especially making the jump from your first year to this year?
Okay, so last year I was more like negative person, but this semester my assistant coach was doing mental game, like mental support a lot. So I played with a lot of confidence this semester. That's, I think, what I feel different from last year.
And golf is a pretty mental sport,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So did that kind of help you just at this tournament? Because, nerves and like pressure can be pretty high.
Yeah.
I think Pat was talking
Yeah.
to us when he was at the Sun Belt tournament. Were you feeling a lot of pressure at that event?
Yes, I have, but I had more enjoy to play golf this semester.
And so you're from Tokyo, Japan, which is nearly 7,000 miles away from where we are right now. So can you talk about like what led you to Southern Miss and how your experience has been kind of going from a place as big as Tokyo and as walkable as Tokyo just to someplace as different and as unique as you were saying earlier about Southern Miss?
Okay, so the reason I came to Southern Miss is definitely because of coach. She's so different from Japanese people, but I had meeting with other schools, but I felt that Coach Lucy was the right coach for me. And I could tell that the atmosphere she created day to day during practice was going to make me and anyone who joins Southern Miss a better player. And I'm a big baseball fan, so which is another plus about coming here.
Awesome.
Could you talk about what the culture of golf is like in Japan and just kind of how you got into the sport?
Golf is very popular in Japan also. And when I was in high school, there were 40 people on the team. That's a lot. And however, there are many places in Japan where the golf facilities are not as good as facilities in the United States. And instead of hitting on normal grass on the practice range, we usually have to hit off the ground, like off turfs. And So the reason why I started golf is I started playing golf because of my grandfather, and I had a lot of fun playing. I had a lot of fun playing around with my grandfather, and I started golf around the age of 10, and was not very good. But over the years, I played golf for my high school. I really enjoyed it, so I feel like I wanted to play golf in college.
Were there any golfers that you watched growing up that you really took a liking to and maybe wanted to kind of model your game after a little bit?
Okay, so my favorite player is Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah.
He's really good player, and I like his playing style and behavior. So yeah, that's what I want to be.
What is the difference? And you kind of talked about it just earlier, but the difference in golf in Japan compared to here, and what was it like learning that?
I feel like here, like especially my coach is so good at strategy, like golf strategy, but in Japan, there's more like technical things a lot. So it's kind of different way to approach to golf.
You kind of talked about the move to Hattiesburg. Do you have any favorite things or just that you like about USM or, the kind of culture here, maybe your favorite place to eat, those kind of things?
I just like the southern people. Like they're so like everyone is nice, and it's so. I think it's the big difference from Japan that people like, and also I think food is different. I mean, I like it.
And we saw that your favorite athlete was Shohei Ohtani. And we know that the World Baseball Classic was just a couple weeks ago, and that was such a big deal in Japan. Can you just talk about what that's been like watching him and why he's your favorite athlete?
Okay, I think every Japanese people likes him, and also last year I went to watch Angels game at Los Angeles. It was so good, and I think he hit home run, like 2 home runs, and it was so good. So I'm gonna go to watch them this year too.
Wow.
Nice.
We're a little jealous.
And then we saw him show out in the World Baseball Classic. Were you watching that whenever Japan was able to pull off the W?
Oh yeah. I was watching with my family on the phone. It was so good.
Wow. Yeah, we heard I think 97% of people the TVs were turned in Japan. That's wild.
So crazy.
But Mocha, before we leave, what's next for you? What are you kind of looking to do next at Southern Miss? What's kind of your goals going ahead?
So the goal of my next year is to win a conference as an individual and as a team. So for that, I'm so excited to practice and then play with my favorite team.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Momoka. We appreciate having you here. Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
This was the 4th Street Sports Show. That was Momoka Ando, and we will be right back here on 4th Street. had to run off. He had to go strike out a bunch of times in intramural softball, so we wish him luck there. But
Got run ruled.
yeah, run ruled 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Sources have told me. So
Homeschool skills don't transfer.
Nope.
Yeah, those homeschool. He played 8 years of basketball though, so
Yeah, he did.
credit to him. He is the next LeBron James. But taking his spot is T. Welcome in.
I don't even have the mic on. Hi, guys.
All good filling in as one of the new 4th Street recruits.
And we want to say we got Isaiah
Of
back
course,
here
Isaiah.
in the corner. He's chilling out.
He's chilling.
big
He's
chillin'.
chilling. That's our guy. And then, of course, Jackson. You've heard him already. Mr. Kennedy is here. And then Charlie and Nathan, of course. Welcome in. But it's time for everybody's favorite segment of the week. It is the Flowers section, brought to you by University Florist and Gifts on Highway 49 in Hattiesburg. It was a highly contested vote, to be frank. Close, a lot of deserving nominees, but we're going to run through the nominees. We have Momoka Ando, who we just spoke to. She was 3rd in the Sun Belt Championships and the 4th golfer in program history to pick up all tournament honors. We have Matthew Etzel from baseball. He had 7 hits and 6 RBIs in the series loss against Coastal Carolina. And then for softball, we've got Maria Smith. She had 1 hit, 2 RBIs, 1 walk, and 1 run in a 3-2 win against Coastal.
And then we have Smilla Kolbe, who again got first in the 800 meter against SEC runners, everybody that you could think of, PR and a program record. So, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot, really deserving nominees
A
this week.
very deserving nominee, but we're going to do the drum roll. You can probably guess who's going to win. Let's hit it.
If you've seen our Twitter, you already know.
The winner, of course, is Matthew Etzel of
The beard.
baseball. 7 hits, 6 RBIs. Matthew Etzel, you are the 4th Street Player of the Week, as voted on by the 4th Street fans. So congratulations to him. And we're going to give some more flowers to the Eagles Esports Fortnite team for placing number 9 in the top 10 Fortnite teams in the country.
I didn't mean to laugh, but every time I just hear Fortnite, I just think of all the memes.
It's really a meme.
But I
It's-
mean, I
the
watched.
nostalgia.
So I think it was in the no build league. But when I see, because you know, building is a completely different thing. Like,
yeah.
and you watch the
Changes the
kids
game.
now, they playing it. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's just so I mean, but still, those games take crazy amount of skill. Respect to esports team. They are crazy. They're crazy.
100%. Like, I played Fortnite the first day that it came out, like September 26, 2017.
Oh my
I played it,
Wow.
and I got like 2nd place the first time I ever played. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And I just kept playing it, and I didn't change anything of how I did. 6 months later, I shoot at a guy, he builds the Taj Mahal in front of me, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's over.
Yeah, maybe we should have put an Eagle Esports in the Player of the Week.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, you know, Etzel still probably would have won. Let's say.
Yeah.
But
Okay, yeah. We do want to say, man, give major flowers to Smilla Kolbe.
Yes,
A program
100%.
record, which was actually set by Sandra Spott last year. So breaking it a year after it was set, just crazy. And then Momoka Ando, only the 4th golfer in program history to be named to all tournament team honors. They deserve the Player of the Week as well, really.
that's history, folks.
Yeah, both
History.
historical performances from them. So, and again, thanks for Momoka coming on the show.
Absolutely. I believe that was like one of her first interviews. So
Yes,
Yes.
and she weathered through it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she weathered through it.
weathered through it. So that was definitely good stuff, historical. So thank you all for voting. But we've got a little bit of time here. I know Jackson, you are a Packers fan, my friend.
Oh,
There's
Lord.
some big news. A little bit of a shift in quarterback play. Jordan Love is your quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. Jackson, what are your thoughts?
Well, so I'm going to give a big shout out to my dear friend, Everest Benson. He's from Ann Arbor, Michigan, major Packers fan, and he is taking it, he's taking it on the chin. He's already walking around wearing a Jordan Love jersey. He's like, you know what, this is the future. I'm sticking with it. And I'm a very optimistic person. I love good stories. I love happiness. Next year, I will either be walking into the 4th Street facilities wearing a Jordan Love jersey or a paper bag over my head, and there is no in between. I hope Aaron Rodgers does well. I know that he probably will, because he's been playing like at the top of his game, and it really wasn't his fault that we lost a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
But Man, Packers GMs, they have a history of doing stuff like this. So.
Do they finally draft a first-round wide receiver just to spite Rodgers?
Oh,
If that happens, I don't know if I'll be happy or not. I don't know if I'll be, oh, hey, we're getting some like really good talent, or if I will just sink into my chair, turn off the TV. Nathan's laughing at me because he knows that's probably what I'm gonna do, and it's probably, shut up, Nathan. I'm gonna be so upset, but I'll weather through it. I'll weather through it.
Maybe they take JSN, the guy your friend probably doesn't like, and the guy that Dima loves. So that would definitely be interesting to see. But regardless, they're still going to be better than the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Draft is coming up this
is.
week, and got a couple Southern Miss athletes with a chance. I think Jason Brownlee's definitely got one of the best
100%.
chances. It's crazy, kind of seeing some reports that the teams aren't as high on this receiver class, so could mess up his chances a little bit if some of those projected first round guys get pushed back, which could very well happen. I think defensive players are getting valued a lot more right now too, so we will see. But I definitely think Jason Brownlee will be drafted.
But it is a deep draft. You really only need one team to like you. And like for a 7th round pick, if a team really likes them, they'll take a chance.
There's nothing wrong with being a 7th round pick, man. I mean, Brock
Purdy.
Yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
Pretty good, yeah. And then the Chiefs rookie running back, Isaiah
Pacheco?
Pacheco,
Isaiah
he was also
Pacheco,
7th round or 6th rounder.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of these guys, end up if you get drafted, you get a chance,
Yeah.
And then that washed up bum Tom Brady, he was a 6th round
Yeah,
pick.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
you
He
never
did
know.
nothing. He did nothing in the NFL,
Yeah, I mean, he had a long career, but really, what did he do? I mean, lots of people have long
Just
careers.
don't forget, Johnny Manziel went, 19 or something? Something like that, yeah.
Check out the Pound Perspective live stream.
Yes, Nathan will actually be doing a live stream for the NFL Draft on his Pound Perspective at the Pound, live from the Pound.
Yeah, Nate Dogg Productions YouTube.
Yes, so make sure to watch that. We might make a guest appearance. I don't know.
Hey, I have to make a call.
Yeah, we
Call in, yeah.
And I'll give them some more credit. Nate Dogg Productions, they had their mock draft special podcast just a couple days ago, I believe.
Yes,
So
yes, we did.
definitely worth a listen here. Guys, time is winding down on this episode, but also time is winding down for 4th Street this season. So next week, it's going to be one of the last shows of us being here. So we're going to look forward to that. Same bat time, same bat channel. I've been Jackson Howell alongside T, Nate Dogg, Jackson, Kennedy, Charlie Luttrell, and everybody here, Isaiah as well. Thank you for joining us. This was the 4th Street Sports Show.
Come back next Monday at 5 on Southern Miss Radio. 4th Street Sports, baby.